Hello, backseaters. You were with Under Sheriff Mike Martin, and I've kind of been on the lam lately, and couldn't go out yesterday. My normal partner that rides with me, Steve Byron, is taking some time off, which is good, and I was unavailable yesterday afternoon, so I'm gonna get going today. Hold on just a second. Try to get everything right. Alright, I am on 694 going eastbound in traffic, which is pretty normal for this time of day. This would be kind of between the city of Arden Hills and Shoreview, and I am headed towards the big city of St. Paul's. So for those of you who are new to Live on Patrol, I'm Under Sheriff Mike Martin. I work for the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office in Minnesota. We are the capital city sheriff's department, and we sit across the river from Minneapolis in Hennepin County. We have approximately 220 sworn officers and another 200 or so correctional officers that work for us, and then of course a number of civilians who make sure that everything works right so that we can do our jobs. And about 5 years ago, our sheriff, Bob FLETCHER, decided that he wanted people to see how we really work within the law enforcement. He wanted to educate the public about how we make decisions and what we think, and be able to ask questions, and that's turned into Live on Patrol. We now have, I think, about 160,000 followers on Facebook and 250,000 subscribers on YouTube, and go out with us 2 or 3 times a week, and always on Friday night, the sheriff, Bob FLETCHER, will go out unless he's out of town or something, or has a family commitment, and patrol with his partner, Pat Scott. They were partners in the city of St. Paul, and now Pat works for us at the sheriff's office as a deputy and doing intel stuff, and they ride together Friday nights, almost always at 9/11, and then a couple other days during the week we will pop up and patrol. We took some time off because of the shootings of Representative Hortman and her husband, and Senator Hoffman and his wife, and we waited until after the funerals for the Hortmans to restart, and last Saturday was our first broadcast since then. We were very involved in the pursuit, or basically the manhunt for Vance Bolter, who's the suspect in that case, and our SWAT team, our violent crime enforcement team, and our apprehension team were out in the field, and I was fortunate enough to be with them when Mr. Bolter was apprehended safely without anyone else being hurt. So, and that was along with probably 10 or 11 other SWAT teams, officers and deputies, and DCA agents, you name it. There's a tremendous amount of team there. So, but now we are back on patrol. It's been a busy day with different things going on. Gun unit located a today that was and get the suspects in custody and conduct a follow-up warrant. I haven't talked to him yet about what came to the follow-up warrant, but hopefully they recovered the gun or guns that were used. Again, we're on 694. We're going eastbound, coming up to 35B. Now we are in the city of Little Canada. Little Canada on our right, Venice Heights on our left. Two of our contract cities that we patrol. Hopefully everyone has plans for getting a little relaxation in over the 4th of July holiday. Trust me, I've been in policing long enough to know that there are a lot of people who have to work, and but hopefully you'll get some time off around that exchange. So, we're now southbound on Interstate 35E. My dashboard says it's 91 degrees, but it's not 91 degrees. It's probably 80 degrees, I would think. But it's humid. But for some reason, my dashboard always goes to the extremes. I'm patrolling in an unmarked Chevy Silverado truck, and which leads a lot of people to do crazy things because they don't know that I'm on. A police car. Yesterday I almost got killed by a semi-driver who at the last minute decided he wanted to take the exit. Literally I had to slam on the brakes and swerve into the lane and actually avoid being hit. And pulled him over and he and I had a nice conversation and he wasn't going to do that again. Driver get into an accident potentially. Struck me. What did you think of coming So we're monitoring all 3 of St. Paul's main channels, all 3 of the county's main channels, some citywide channels, and some statewide channels, or metro-wide and statewide channels, so that if anything serious kicks off, we'll be able to hear it and respond if we're in the area. In the gun unit to let me know that they did arrest the suspect from the shooting last night, and I'm not going to read his name because he hasn't yet been charged, but someone who is known to us. So we're going to get off here on the highway. We're on going to get off on Maryland and go westbound on Maryland. This means I have to change my radio to the appropriate channel here for St. Paul Central District. So we're westbound on Maryland Avenue. We're approaching Jackson. I see somebody said hello from Australia. Hello. Hopefully things are good down under. I've been watching some interesting videos about Australian cattle dogs. Just the cutest things in the world. And they herd the cattle by nipping at their heels. And I think they may be that one of my dogs might have a little bit of that in her. But I've gotten stuck watching videos of those dogs taking on the cattle and barking and being cute. So. So you know, I can look over every clear damages. We don't have any suspect info. Clear us out. Just with you. I can look over every once in a while at the comments, but obviously I got to pay attention to my driving. So, especially now that there's a lot of construction going on. saw a comment about the loud blinkers. I don't know why my blinkers are so loud. I don't know if it's like, hey, this guy's kind of old, so let's give him some loud blinkers so he doesn't leave it on after he turns. So for those of you who don't know me, or I am in my 36th year of policing. I started in 1989 at the Airport Police Department here. Did 2 years there as a community service officer, and then went to the city of Minneapolis and spent 25 years with Minneapolis, and rose up to the level where I was a civil service captain, but was appointed to run the 4th Precinct on the north side of Minneapolis, and then retired from Minneapolis and worked for the University of Minnesota system doing emergency management, emergency preparedness, but I continued to do training for police officers across the country. And then when Sheriff Bob FLETCHER was elected sheriff in 2018, he asked me to come work for him and run a bunch of the specialized units for the sheriff's office, and that's what I'm doing now. So I run the carjacking and auto theft team, the intel team, the violent crime enforcement team, the gun unit, which is a non-fatal shooting unit and focuses on illegal guns. The apprehension unit, which is fugitive apprehension. And what else? Kind of a backup commander for the SWAT team. I had the SWAT team, but Under Sheriff Phil Babenroth is now oversees the SWAT team, and when he's out of town or in major incidents system. So I have a lot on my plate, but I enjoy it. It's what I enjoy doing. Now, at Minneapolis Police Center, he's lost. It's interesting to see him over here. But oftentimes we work real closely with the Minneapolis PD. They have cases where their suspects will come over here to Ramsey County, or our bad guys will go over there and commit crime and think they're going to get away with it. But it's like there's a couple of them there, and maybe they're over here for some training or something.
He's the Plunder Sheriff. Monotone Mike says you're on a bad link. When we call out the light, we hijack the show and bingo the screen while he's chasing squirrels and a cop daydream.
Hey, no per.
I didn't even realize that's a good
bad, huh?
Nicer than our 7 straightforward horses.
Well, you know, you got to stick with those G rides, right?
We'll be back tomorrow.
All right. Well, let us know if you need anything.
Yeah, it looks great. But
All right. So they're over here working, probably looking for a suspect that they're interested in. We've been doing a lot of work together with them. Just tremendous cooperation. They have great leadership that lets them work with us on issues that cross boundaries, which of course there are a lot of those. The bad guys are very mobile, and we have to realize that we have to be mobile as well. We're headed down now into downtown St. Paul. I'm going to kind of cut around here. Head back over. I know we have some of our deputies working a soccer tournament at Central High School, so maybe we'll swing by there, check out, see how it's going. With zero pizzazz, he's the Plunder Sheriff. Monotone Mike says you're on a bad link. When we call out the light, we hijack the show and bingo the screen while it's chasing squirrels and a cop daydream. Saw the comment from, I think it was Matthew, that yes, the XL Energy Center is now called the Grand Casino Arena, where the Minnesota Wild will play, or have played. Ahead of us here is our state capitol and peace officers memorial. Right in the front here, in the foreground, is a memorial to peace officers in Minnesota that have given their lives in pursuit of public safety. And the answer is yes. I could pull over that bicyclist for not abiding by the stoplight, but it's probably not worth the hassle. I think he's probably on his way up here to the old Sears lot where they are having a bet to help shape the future of what that area is going to look like.
On the nicest day, he'll tell you to go inside. Goes 15 underwalls, camera mount slides. Rattles and rants with the voice like glue.
Grand casinos, or two grand casinos in Minnesota. Grand casinos.
With a typewriter soul. Buffs graffiti like it's taking a toll. He won't write a ticket, but he'll call your dad. And he'll stream it live with zero pizzazz. He's the blonder sheriff. Monotone, I says you're on a bad link when we call out the light.
See, that's why I have to have a loud blinker.
Squirrels in a cop daydream. Be a big deal up in Minneapolis, doing it twice. What a fall from the palace. Call it a bridge collapse legacy, but what he really crushed was community. Reflection of the force that circled back. He doubled it with Bob in the Silverado track. He's the thumb they hired.
Now we're going to go westbound here on University.
Mike with the question is, he's the blonder.
Radio's about
If you're on a
really quiet.
bit about that. Talking so slow, squirrels fall asleep.
Now it seems to be a little low in the afternoon.
They're all count sheep.
A lot of the bad guys don't want to be out and about when it's light outside.
On the nicest day, he'll tell you to go inside. Goes 15 underwalls, camera mount slides. Rattles and rants with a voice like glue. And pulls up wide like he's driving a canoe. Gang unit event with a typewriter soul. Buffs graffiti like it's taking a toll. He won't write a ticket, but he'll call your dad. And he'll stream it live with zero pizzazz. He's the blonder sheriff. Monotone, Mike says you're on a bad link when we call out the light. Hijack the show. Bingo, the screen while it's chasing squirrels and a cop daydream. Be a big deal up in Minneapolis, doing it twice. What a fall from the palace.
Can you put myself 465 on training behind?
Really crushed was community. To the mention of the force that circled back. Double dipping with Bob in the Silverado track. He's the third hired, but we know the truth. Blonder sheriff Mike with a grudge against you. He's the blonder sheriff, froggy and flat. If you're on a moped, he'll throw a fit about that. Talking so slow, the squirrels fall asleep, then the crime rate drops, cause they're all count sheep. On the nicest day, he'll tell you to go inside. Goes 15 underwalls, camera mount slides. Rattles and rants with a voice like glue. And pulls up wide like he's driving a canoe. Gang unit vet with a typewriter soul. Buffs graffiti like it's taking a toll. He won't write a ticket, but he'll call your dad. And he'll stream it live with zero pizzazz. He's the blonder sheriff. Monotone, Mike says you're on a
We're
bad
ways
link
away
when
from
we call out the
English
light.
Street. It's way over by Maplewood. So we're not going to head there, but we'll listen. Construction site alarm went off. But we're just going to keep heading westbound here and then over to Central High School here to check on the deputies that are working the soccer tournament over here. Here's, I can see a little piece of the discussion about enforcing the bike running the red light on here. The bottom line is that we have to use discretion every day. What are we going to spend our time on? What is most important? And what are the prosecutors, the city attorney in this case, willing to prosecute? And I can tell you right now, if I stop a bike and the person gets all agitated and we end up scuffling and I have to arrest them for resisting arrest or something, the city attorney is not going to back me up for enforcing a bicycle running a red light. And therefore, I'm not going to spend my time enforcing that. Now, there are times when like a bicycle will ride the wrong way down a street into traffic, or certain other things that create a public safety risk. But when someone runs a red light after, and there's no cars coming in the opposite direction, it's just not worth that. So trust me, there's nobody that I know that wants the police enforcing every little law, because there are laws that on the books that we'd all be getting pulled over for repeatedly. So we have to use some discretion and decide, what we want to do. Some of my best arrests have been enforcing bike laws, or people walking down the middle of the street, but it was when I had a good, reasonable suspicion to believe that they were up to something else. So we're at Central High School. There's a Somali soccer tournament going on here every year. Teams from all over the country come here to participate in this soccer tournament. And our deputies work here to keep it safe. How's it going? Good. Looks like it's between games, huh?
Our first team is about to finish up.
Oh, all right. Cool. Everything going well? All right. All right. We'll see ya. Thanks. So deputy says that, or sergeant says that everything's going well and people are just coming in. So I'm gonna put it around here. Maybe we'll stop back by here later. Unfortunately, there've been issues at these events in the past. The whole idea is to prevent that. Get back here. We're going to go westbound on Marshall, right by Concordia University, St. Paul. Here on Hamlin. See what's going on. It's relatively, hate to use the quiet word, but not a lot going on out here in the city of St. Paul on the radio.
Cisco 26 traffic. Ramp to the northbound. Robert, Ramsey, just 63.
Filling with you at 18.
Clear for 79 Tango out.
Copy.
Just passing the William K. Finney Western District in St. Paul, named after Chief Bill Finney, who was the chief of St. Paul a lot of years, I think 18 years, but I'm not sure. And then he came over and worked for us for 5 years and recently retired, and it was great to be able to draw on his experience and his knowledge of St. Paul. It was fun to work with. We're back westbound on University here in the Midway area. On our left is the light rail tracks. Looks like the Metro Transit police are out here with someone, or just maybe just checking the tracks. Looks pretty darn code 4 on the tracks here.
Center stage, smile for Bob, no need to act your age. Talks about crime but avoids the call. Just another rerun with the Voyeur stroll. Public trust what he rewrites it. But the girls wave back and his optics flip. Says he's the chaser, real high speed, but never the first to step in or lead. Gaslight flicker from the crown, big dash while the youth perform and the moment crashes. Over got a cam and a mic, but no real closure. Gives him away and rolls down the block.
Copy, stand by 126. Copy, is there another local button?
It's the way you can show the clear. I'll be out. Indiana, 366-4885.
I'm looking at pending calls and trying to see if there's anything near us.
Name of 175. This is 125
So we're back eastbound now on University at Briggs. And I'm gonna keep heading over to the east side unless something happens over here. And it sounds like there's a few things going on over there.
Bob might show. It's a pattern you can set your watch to. Bar lot band or maybe dance moves too. Every time it's the same old bit. Bob pulls up, acts like he's legit. Dash cam catching every flirty line. Tells him call dispatch, ask for mine. Like 911's his dating app. Public safety's just a backdrop laugh. Call 911 is for FLETCHER. Over here flirting way down, roll real slower. Heat cop, he's a roadside rover. One hand on the mic, the other on a soda. Call 911 is for FLETCHER. Spin the block till the party's over. He's got a badge, but it's just for showing. If you're young and cute, well, Bob might show.
You can hear how quiet the radio is, so usually when that happens, it'll pick up.
Rolling slow, it's a FLETCHER show.
Just got a beat.
Be kind,
Pretty sleeping.
rewind. A couple years back in St. Paul,
Pretty sleeping.
where Sheriff Bob found something around the corner after all. A birthday party But that didn't
1445 Floral Drive, 74-year-old male, low blood pressure.
Saturday night, Bob's creeping slow outside the saloon with that deputy show. Rolls the window down, starts laying it on thick. Nice vest, he says, real quick with the shtick. Then further up the block, another group appears. Young girls in hats, with laughter and cheers. What's the occasion? Bob leans in to say, oh, just a sweet 16 today. And Bob, he lights up like blue and red. As Mickey Frost sneaks, he said, how'd he get a niece so cute? Then offers advice that's pure abuse. If someone's rude, you don't gotta stress. Just call 911, then ask the best. Say, send Fletcher over, yeah, that's the trick. Dispatch ain't your secretary, Bob, that line ain't slick. He lined him up for the dash cam lens.
Eastbound out of University here.
Said, get in
Coming.
front, it's your birthday, friends. Cheered them on,
Headed
like
over to
it's
the
just some
east side
show.
unless something happens.
A public servant or a late night host. Call 911, Fletcher over. Wrong number, Bob, this ain't your chauffeur. 911, he'll bring the charm till he finds out your party's underage. No harm. She's 16, he's 68, but here he is hyping up the birthday plate. Tells her he loves the eyeshadow game, gives her that Bobaganda fame. Girls dancing, laughing, lights all aglow, while Bob records the late night show. Forget real calls,
You're welcome.
forget real crime. He's busy filming his favorite line.
Seems like we are.
Fletcher
Oh,
over, public safety.
okay, there we go.
Audible, 700.
Finally, we're unfrozen. Sorry about that. We froze up there for a minute and we were in a no man's land and no woman.
We call it a problem.
So we're northbound on Rice Street now from University, crossing Como, right by the excuse me, the Club Holiday. Famous.
New message. New message. New message.
Alright, if anything comes, throw stuff away.
Northbound on Rice at Atwater. And coming up on Lawrence Bar when we were live 2-3 weeks ago, a lady was shot right outside of Lawrence Bar, and the sheriff and Pat and I all arrived relatively quickly on that. I never did hear what her condition was after the shooting, but that night I know they had stabilized her. So yes.
I don't think we have one to sail here. Go for it. We'll be out with her at 1741. Looking for the order. No. We're going back.
I'm just looking at cases.
stand by for the address.
See what's going on here.
Do you need any more? Remember this? You need just just for investigate 114.
Happy 14. 14 vehicles.
Do something. That is the light and what's happening.
No need to act your age. Talks about crime but avoids the call. Just another rerun with the voyeur's drawl. Public trust but he rewrites the script with the girls wave back.
Morning,
when
country.
it's
Remember that was
says he's the chaser, real high speed.
Thank you.
First step in or lead. Gaslight flicker from the crime.
So we're headed across the highway here to the east side of St. Paul, where hopefully we can find a little more action.
Roger, if you can cancel this one there. 376 traffic.
376, go ahead.
76 Raiders, Hamburg, Chevy, Paula. We're in the Soto.
So 1 Raider, each 36. Check there.
Raiders, what people on 1495 Burrill.
Copy.
So we're going to go check on this stop at 1395. I'm sorry, at DeSoto and Brainerd here.
I have a call for a powerboat that's driving too close to shore on White Lake.
There's a body clean over.
Now you were doing that close work.
FLETCHER over, he'll spin the block till the party's over. He's got a badge, but it's just for show. And if you're young and cute, well, Bob might show. It's a pattern you could set your watch to. Bar lock band or maybe dance moves too. Every time it's the same old bit. Bob pulls up, acts like he's legit. Dash cam catching every flirty line. Tells him call dispatch, ask for mine. Like 911's his thing. Public safety's just a backdrop laugh. Call 911 for FLETCHER over. He'll flirt and way down. He's a roadside. One hand on the mic, the other on a soda. Spin the block till the party's over. He's got a badge, but it's just for show. And if you're young and cute, well, Bob might show.
Here's my number, 911.
Rolling
What's
slow,
up,
it's a
Tango?
FLETCHER show.
911, ask for FLETCHER.
For our call on Burrill, 0 minute.
Be kind. Rewind. A couple years back in St. Paul,
And it looks like, yeah,
where Sheriff Bob found something around the corner
down in their early 20s.
a birthday party
Probably did not have a
for
description
kids.
of the child except that she's a
But that
black female
didn't
years old.
stop him. Saturday night, Bob's creeping slow outside the saloon with that dirty show. Rolls the window down, starts laying it on thick. Nice vest, he says, real quick with the shtick. Then further up the block, another group appears. Young girls in hats, mid laughter and cheers. What's the occasion? Bob leans in to say, oh, just a sweet 16 today. And Bob, he lights up like blue and red. Does Mickey Frost sneeze? He said, how'd he get a niece so cute? Then offers advice that's pure abuse. If someone's rude, you don't gotta stress. Just call 911 and ask for best. Say send FLETCHER over, yeah, that's the trick. Dispatch ain't your secretary.
Your
Bob, that
incident
line
has
is
been-
slick.
Okay.
He lined them up for the dash cam lens. Said, get in front, it's your birthday friends. Cheered them on like it's just some show. A public servant or a late night host. Call 911.
Your incident has been updated.
The Bob, this ain't your chauffeur. 911, he'll bring the charm till he finds out your party's underage. No harm.
376, checking your status.
No.
She's 16, he's 68, but here he is hyping up the birthday plate. Tells her he loves the eyeshadow game.
Your
Gives her
incident
that
has been
Bobaganda fame.
updated.
Girls dancing, laughing, lights all aglow. While Bob records the late night show. Forget real calls, forget real crimes. He's busy filming his favorite line.
Give me a clear to reply. 268 and moving traffic. Lafayette and Uni. Minnesota Romeo Victor Sierra. 801.
And ET3.
Your incident has been updated.
Rewind. Bob called it patrol. We call it a problem.
Rewind. We're back with Bob again.
Your incident has been updated.
Girls, here's his number 911.
He rolls up slow in that aging SUV, smiling at the side like it's live TV. Sees a group of girls outside the saloon, tips his hat, says looking good this evening soon. She laughs and waves, says it's just a sweet 16. He leans in close like he's part of the scene, tells her you need help, you in distress, just call dispatch and say you want the best. Call 911, send FLETCHER over. He'll pull up smooth like a bad hangover. Got a badge, got snacks, got no case solved, just dash cam dance moves, mystery unsolved. Here's my number, he grins while the girls twirl slow in the flashing lens. Public safety? Nah, just streetlight theater. Patrol car creeping like a high school teacher. He name drops Frost like it gives him a pass. Flirts with the kids, lets the moment last. Tells them to pose, stand center stage. Smile for Bob, no need to act your age. Talks about crime but avoids the call. Just another rerun with the voyeur's drawl. Public trust, but he rewrites the script where the girls wave back and his optics are flipped. Call 911, send FLETCHER
Your incident
over.
has
Got
been
a kid in
updated.
mind, but no real closure. Gives him a wink, then rolls down the block. Another sketch scene for his YouTube slot. Call 911, say it's urgent too. You might just get Bob in a backseat view. Justice ain't blind, just heavily filtered. And safe pulse spin keeps getting weirder. Be kind. Rewind. And maybe next time, don't let Bob bring the lights to the dance floor.
Search contact can start to 459 Lexington Parkway North. Start at the 911 hang up within 5 meters. Change to a domestic due to two males yelling at each other and being referred to as partners. 17. Copy, is there a suspect?
He could have been a lawyer, but instead,
What's the
he became this.
Have
Step in the clinic, doc's got swagger, white coat tight, but vocab staggered. Open wide, he's to say I would cry, but he can't name a thing that's found inside. Give me the x-rays for the hybrid lungs. He's misreading cuts while chewing his gums. Calls it across, not across the chest. Bedside manner, second best. Tried to be a lawyer,
Your incident has been updated.
Couldn't pass the bar, couldn't spell it too. If words were crimes, he'd be doing time. In a courtroom yelling, bring me the subpoena line. He's Dr. Fletcher, M. Can't pronounce a thing but thinks he's above ya. Misdiagnosed and misspoke to, he'll treat your Chipotle flu with some Mountain Dew.
Your incident has been updated.
He's Dr. Fletcher. Ooh-wee. Malpractice in a Dodge SUV. Saying catch a macho while searching your spine.
Search contact can start to 285 Grant Avenue for a burglary. 376, checking your status. Happy, go for your welcome, 1847.
Calls it Toyota, drives Arcadia wrong. Westminster, where the church bells
Your incident has been updated.
Copy, is there a suspect?
Your incident has been updated.
This one's gonna call us.
He says with full white grain, trying to sound smart, but the vowels cave in. Talking Ukraine like it's new on the map. Just nod and smile, don't fall in the trap. Says real
One from High Tango.
like he's
What's up, Happy?
house.
Your response that's willing to take our place on the domestic. We'd prefer to head to the burglary for training purposes.
Still can't read St. Paul streets with care.
One for 20
You've been a cop since Disco and you're
One
still
from High Tango, thank you.
He's Dr. Fletcher.
Happy, nice to meet you.
If ignorance
Full supervised from that burglary.
talks like he's teaching while misreading.
Your incident has been updated.
Looking at 3-year-old, 2545 North Victoria. She ran away from a caller with laying hide and seek on the playground. I can't find her. Last name within the last 6 minutes. The female that's wearing a green shirt with a shark that's blowing a bubble and a gray pattern skirt.
Hey, you got Hey, book up.
It's pretty.
Dr. Fletcher will see you now.
267, I copy. You're not to 205 Congress. It's going to be for a 911 hang up. Thank you at 1849.
Or your street, or your meds, or anything really.
What's line us up, 1849?
He's Dr. Fletcher, and mistakes and mumbling, that's his shtick.
82848, you guys count there.
825, copy again.
But still acts tough.
Good way.
He says milk in his coffee, then grabs a s'more. Tells the crowd, I got you, pull take galore. Can't say Acadia, calls it Arcadia. Rolling in his Toyota like he's leading a paradia. Thinks it's Lee Orient, not Laurier Street. Westminster's where he lost the beat. Realtor wife still says realtor. Trying to build trust, but he sounded absurd. He says hybrid like his car's got toe-toe.
Subject stated that they were in the middle of Health Army.
And he'll
Initially wanted to just speak to crisis.
Talks about Moriarty, but it's all
The
mohair. Like his tongue
They're
went
engaged male.
missing when the
Morning
truth
to
got there. He's Dr. Fletcher, and gives second-hand takes with first-grade slur. Says Moriarty, and
there's one
pride in miseries.
Point four three.
Like he's cross-eyed. He's Dr. Fletcher, and can't pronounce a thing, but thinks he's above you. Misdiagnosed.
Right, 40 can stay clear.
That's good, sir. 624, they still have a suspect that got away.
Negative. One more town on Cleveland Grand. Wearing gray shirt. Right on the bottom, carrying a briefcase.
Yeah, so one got away, correct? They have 2 detained.
Sounds like one is currently detained, one got away.
All right, sorry about the delay in getting back to you, but the car had a bunch of people in there that were very deceptive with the officers, and they were driving in a way trying to evade the St. Paul officers, and they had a couple bottles in there, one of which was open, but it was
376, I copy. 442.
in the back, and it looked like it had been wasn't being actively consumed out of, I guess. But they acted so nervous and suspicious and kept digging around in the car that we eventually had the passenger get out because he kept digging around, and for safety reasons we're able to get them out of the car and check and make sure there are any weapons or anything. So St. Paul officers did a tremendous job there, getting them ID'd, asking them questions, and so we'll go back to patrol here as soon as I figure out on my new computer here how to clear this call. It's funny because everything kind of looks the same, but it's just a little bit different. So
Probably would hurt first once to start a perimeter. At least it was not hurt till we get more information from 23. Three, 5, 4. You would just start medics. Back out to family members. The other family also to be checked out. We're both of them. 24-year-old male, conscious of breathing.
Copy, Daddy. Park, the Millingren, right now. 3. 5-1.
all right, so sorry, I'm looking through my computer here, checking on the status of a couple other calls here. Things seem to be picking up here a little, so that's good. Good day. There's They originally called it out, then they went another block, then another one. So it was obvious that the car was not stopping. Right? Usually that means that the people in the car.
23 Little Canada Road, 104. Female from Unit 107 is standing outside the color's patio, knocking on the door when the caller was looking for handled. Definitely white female, 40 years old.
So usually if they don't stop right away, it's because they are trying to conceal something within the car. Anyway, we were able to eventually get the passenger out variant and obviously very professionalism of the two St. Paul cops that were there. They were very polite, very but very thorough. Ran all the checks to make sure everything was okay.
You got to bring yourself. You can't let me on it over here. Smells running through the front door. Is that nice for they can do it?
We're on Edgerton and we're going to go east here on Maryland.
Put me on a deal to you. I'll be unfamiliar with the party.
The driver of the car was a female. She had just purchased the car in North Dakota, but had it was not registered to her, and she did not have the normal registration that you would see if you bought a car from a dealer. She said she did, but the officers were able to go through other ways to verify that she had purchased the vehicle. She just hadn't registered it here like she's supposed to.
So there.
56 Avenue Northwest, room 118, 79-year-old male, 50 degrees. Next, 22 is expected. Medical and short 5664 Northville Drive on a 93-year-old female with a medical alarm effective.
So we're still eastbound on Maryland here, coming up to Phelan Parkway.
The civil, Park Hills 1238, with Crest Porch client rented a dumpster trailer, and the client kept it too long. We advised it was a civil matter. Parties on scene, their request fee. 373, I copy your around and advising still water and roof for 3 people riding around on loud scooters. So thank you. The patient also succeeded. 372.
The road's the other day.
7802. 5182, okay.
Still go for it.
Just passing the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, or the BCA, the State Investigative Agency, and they also run the State Crime Lab and do a tremendous amount of work. And they now have a violent crime reduction unit, which are street cops and investigators who go out on the street and work to reduce violent crime and apprehend violent criminals. So
You can now stay clear of the system and the other penalty.
Okay. Commercial, Pennsylvania. Right. Hey, Ramsey, if you want to go now.
we're going to go northbound here on White Bear Avenue.
I'll be 5 on here.
Ideally, northbound.
23, I have your name.
We're going to pull her over here for speeding. You'd think she would drive a little more careful on that. Yeah, you.
Take 12 on 1. Yeah, we did the road rate incident in West.
20 to 25.
Go for it.
Or your street,
5181.
or your meds.
Area check
or
from Bull
anything.
6051B2. The caller said an employee has been drinking at work and is trying to drive home. She had an open bottle in the car as well. Vehicle to Lake Chevy SUV 08708 Kelly, Lake Millingren 60. Hey, what's happening?
New message. New message.
Jesus. I got a wanted hit, but that's not her for sure. It's a guy. They must have a similar date of birth. Perfect. All right, well, she's clear. I'm just going to advise her to be careful and
Our
slow
caller
down.
back, but she's on her way to the address now to get her child. Is she saying the child at the address? I believe that the child is at the 850 Vadnais Drive with her sister. We might also Sierra 014 if you just give me the name of Burrill. Okay, coming back there. 2023. Dark green. Video. Registered to address St. Paul Standard Commercial.
She was a nice lady.
There is no
She didn't argue. She said, yeah, you're right. I should be more careful. I should know better. And I gave her what I'm going to now call the Linder's advisal, which is wear a helmet if you're going to be on that thing. Steve, if you're watching, God bless you. I hope you're not laughing so hard that it hurts. We're northbound on White Bear now, getting close to entering the city of Maplewood. Maplewood has their own police department, but they're in Ramsey County, so we patrol here as well and assist the Maplewood PD, although they're highly capable of handling stuff. We're there to back them up if needed.
Would you want to get there?
Never seen that horseshoe park there, but there's a lot of people playing horseshoes.
Down Avenue on the 86-year-old female. Thank you.
I don't need more. You can show me the next.
So we're going to get on 36 West here and head back towards kind of the middle of the county. Here on the east side of the county. Westbound on Highway 36. We're approaching 35E.
I'm getting let down. 7th Street at Pole 6. Probably another 50 here.
Head back this way. See what we run into.
Survivor Burrill Selling. Emergency Society being called for your inspection.
Okay. Take that customer off the back. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There's a first floor. The also zero.
Frequently, 272 West, the apartment number 4 is the domestic door that's placed in the south side, pointing from the adult to be a cameo jump.
Upbound on Highway B and back into the heart of St. Paul. Apologize for the boring highway ride, but I want to quick drive by this St. Paul officer that's on a traffic stop of Mustang that was going over 100 miles an hour, and just until I hear him say that he's code 4. closer call where an unlicensed Buick Enclave is in the parking lot of a problem location for us, and the squad's checking on it. I want to stay in this area just in case that one flees.
265 on 440 here. Interagency is doing EKB. Yeah, Minnesota 10-6, 0402-4152.
From foreman to a court night, Tucker worked off everyone aside, like flashing on his personal right. Bob just now pushed rules aside.
There's a bunch of St. Paul squads already there, so
Bob kept the chaos on display.
maturity.
Portal just across.
And the car hasn't fled, so that's good.
Oh, Bob, what a go, what a show. Hired a deputy who crashed and blow from court security. Then came the crash, oh what a scene. A fiery mess that kind of mean. A business burned, $1 million in debt. Bob's face turned red but no regret. Not my fault, he says with a laugh. The victim's like, Bob, do the math. Bob's got fans who can't see the dark. Blind to the flaws, they still bark. At the Back to the 50s show, he met a man who said, hey Bob, you hired that plan. Bob smiled, faltered, eyes looked away. Can't take the heat, but it's time to pay. Oh Bob, what a guy, what a show. Hired a deputy who crashed and blow from court security to patrol with pride. Bob turned a blind eye, kept him inside. Backseaters cheer, but they don't know. Bob's got a history to start in the show. So here's to Bob and his reckless crew. A sheriff's legacy of I didn't do. But others tell the fire that burned. It's the story that the backseaters never learned.
330.
It sounds like there's a male with a sword walking west on the tracks. White male with a face tattoo. Safety was bleeding unknown from where. This is the railroad.
The wind can lie. I failed to form the results to show. Bob left around just so you know. Full undercover, he said with a grin. Keep us safe from the chaos within. But Tucker was more than Bob his day. Even after all the rules he broke. Oh Bob, what a guy, what a show. Hired a deputy who crashed and blow from court security to patrol with pride. Bob turned a blind eye, kept him inside. Backseaters cheer, but they don't know. Bob's got a history to start the show.
There was a call for a male with a sword. 287 failed. I have to see.
Feels good right now, so continue checking.
Kind of an unusual spot, but we'll see. We'll head that way until they code 4. A male who's bleeding, that's walking with a sword down by the railroad tracks, and I had to look up where that address was.
137.
Go ahead.
I might be up the male behind him. 35. You can have one as well. 287 to be a male, feeling up, feeling a sword in hand.
Copy, he's male, still serving.
Place down there.
Is he injured? Does he need medic?
Switch the roll call.
Turn around, I saw him, but not really sure how to get down there. That's a little unusual. I think you might have to go.
I'm sorry, Visually to us, transfer around. Heading to Perfect. You take that, go ahead.
Yeah, please clear supplies with 2
You take that, I.
Operation 92.
Just let a caller and stay her license cleared by Federal.
Thank you for having me. Watch your flight right there.
Take that, Grand Channel 2.
Alright, so the officers are out with him. He doesn't have a sword. Unless he threw it down somewhere, but they are super code 4.
Then maybe 20. You can advise fire. We're going to have 2 spots that there's going to be a fire at. One's going to be just before Highway 88 and one's going to be just south of Highway 88. Exit.
Brighton was dispatched to a fire on the side of the highway up there. They're calling for the fire department. So there's 2 grass fires up there on the side of the highway on 2 sides of 35W where 88, Highway 88 comes out. It might be County Road 88, but right up in the New Brighton, St. Anthony area. It sounds like they have that under control. Well, I appreciate everyone hanging with me this afternoon. It hasn't been very eventful, but it was good to interact with the backseaters again, and appreciate it. If you haven't had a chance, make sure you follow Live on Patrol on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube. And I have a feeling that we may be back tomorrow. Thanks.
The suspect stole a car and he tried to use some light out to get out the license plate. It didn't work. Technology squad recalculate and identify the stolen and stop the vehicle fled. He got out of the pit over on 35 million miles. He hit both documents from Soccer and the Super Bay of the Sugar Away. And all home. Shed in the window. All home. So we're going to see what's the Morris.
Sure. Please. We're going westbound 694 from west.
Copy. What's wrong with the name from last? Close the head.
It's a slow vehicle. It's going westbound 6. Or 694 westbound it is.
Goodbye, 71. Not something. What's wrong with the
Cisco got it. We're now going past 10 westbound or north. Westbound 10.
Westbound 10. Has not been long yet, but we're going to on the way to the
Well, 3 cars here. Well, it's not stopping. We're still going westbound. Moderate traffic.
Speed not stopping. Moderate traffic.
White, and then I think there's 2 occupants, one male driver, red hat. General Lake. State Burrill. We're level north 35 minutes. Number 4. We are Service, Conroy I and Hamlin, 30 minutes. Vehicle over.
Copy, I am 30 minutes, vehicle rolled.
Hamlin, stage now.
Stage now. And over Fuzzy are the type with West Rolling County Wall. Water yellow is an individual vehicle at 215.
So the go high and
Okay, 62 block man, Hamlin.
40
minutes.
third line,
That's 216.
And
6920.
Hey, we want to get over.
2460 was the status there.
Status,
64, we're going to make a plan to get them out of the vehicle and on the side. We're going to wait for those yellow or also.
Hamlin.
441.
Wait, what are you doing?
You're also for as well.
Hey, can you get a squad local, and maybe Lakeland?
This is 184.
5184.
We fall the 1362 Belmont Lane.
1362 Belmont Lane. 21. 920.
We can't get it, so I'm alright. Checking in.
4043 mile. Traffic. 52 close traffic.
161 custody. And the other one in custody.
Between custody, paramedic written.
Wait, so should we get the first accident out in a second?
Copy. First document out, working on the second. You want me to fix the stage still?
Confirm.
Okay.
It is 9244.
Code 411.
40.5. Can we just have fire come out of the car?
Copy, you want me to clear it in?
Please. Well, of extra case.
Copy. 8196, 8197.
That's 160 minutes to clear in.
Copy.
1264.
164.
Myself, I think 65. Oh, correction, 63. Follow the line down the regions.
Never mind. 196 status.
164 right at that region. We're close for the mail on here.
Go to Burrill, 429, how's your data?
Go for it.
Go to 42153.
446, you can send it out.
Copy, 422.
442.
Two back, 4466. 491, hang up, please, in the chambers. 911 only, phone in the 9 meters, no phone history. 2164.
446.
2156.
2360.
2360.
Thanks for all you do and for 9 services.
2150.
How many?
44150.
466 to report.
2150.
A great arrest last night, finding one of our patrol deputies. Resulted in a pursuit and apprehension of a stolen car. And the male had some warrants and a short-barreled rifle that was thrown out during the pursuit. So we'll touch base on that, but make sure you check that post out.
Yeah, check that post out. I think they're going to put a video up later about it as well.
And actually, I don't think that car was stolen too far from where we're at. It's off of Cromwell, right?
Yeah. Got stolen. Lady was playing pickleball, left her keys in her jacket. Her jacket was stolen with her keys, and then was located by our patrol deputies later last night. The suspect stole the car and he tried to use some whiteout to white out part of the license plate. It didn't work. Technology and squads were able to read the correct plate, and the deputy figured out it was stolen, tried to stop the vehicle, fled. He conducted a pit over F-35W&I, and the vehicle rolled. The occupants were inside, but during the pursuit he threw a bag out containing a short-barreled rifle. And yeah, they called him out. They shattered the window, called him out, took the suspect into custody, had several warrants.
Actually, was one of our canines in a track. Found out some information.
Yep.
Location, and dog and the handler went out, and the pup did his job.
Great work by all.
So that's a new one. I don't think I've ever seen whiteout on a plate. I've seen
if you guys go to the page, there's a picture of the plate, an L trying to turn into an I, so you white out the bottom portion of the L. The suspect stole the car, tried to use white out to white out the license plate. It didn't work. Technology squad read the correct plate, and the vehicle was stolen, tried to stop the vehicle, fled. Conducted it over F-35W&I, hit it pulled. Occupants inside, during the pursuit he threw a bag out containing a short-barreled rifle. Yeah, they called him out. They shattered the window, called him out. The suspect has several warrants.
Wait, we're going westbound 694 from Lex.
Copy. This one's going to be from Lex. Lose it.
It was slowly able. No, westbound 6. Or 694 westbound it is.
571. Not something. This one's
6 don't got it. We're now going past 10 westbound or north. No, it's not stopping. We're so far west on it. Speed, moderate traffic.
Speed not stopping. Moderate traffic.
Point, advances. I think there's 2 occupants, one male driver, red hat.
Okay,
20 Chevrolet. State rails are north 35 seconds. You get all night. You go back. 2364, number 2 at the end.
Ready.
2166, number 3. You got a ticket pager with a new guy. No traffic. Still east on I-35, no traffic, heading Snelling. For number 3 past speed. Number 4. We are east on I-35. Survey. Coming on I and Hamlin, 30 minutes. Give a over.
Copy, I am 30 minutes, go rolled.
Hamlin stage now.
Stage now. And over Fuzzy are the type with West Trolling County will argue is in the Discretion vehicle at 215.
Go high and
Okay, 6 block man Hamlin.
40 minutes. Third line,
That's 216.
and then
6920.
hey, we didn't want to shield or
2460 was the status there.
Status,
6-4, we're making a plan to get them out of the vehicle to the other side. We're going to wait for those shield over the wall.
Making a plan. Where's everyone?
You're also for internet as well.
hey, can we get a square logo, and maybe Lakeland?
Wait.
This is 184.
5184.
For all that, you know,
Okay.
We fall with the 1362 Belmont Lane.
1362 Belmont Lane, 21. And then 20.
We kind of disconnected, but alright, checking in.
21. 44. Copy. 56 traffic.
161 custody. And the other one in custody.
Between custody, paramedic ridden.
Wait, so we get the first accident out in a second.
Copy. First document out, working on the second. You want me to fix the stage still?
Confirm.
Okay.
It is 9244.
20.5. Can we just have fire come out of the car?
Copy, you want me to clear a minute?
Please. Well, of that station.
Copy. 8196, 8197.
That's 2160 minutes, clear in.
Copy.
1264.
164.
Myself, I think 65. Oh, correction, 63. Follow the line down the regions.
Cover monitor. 167.
2164, right, that region.
Cover mail. 4429, how much data?
Go for it.
442153.
4462.
Copy. 4492.
442.
2 back. 4466. 491, hang up, 27 chambers. 911 only calls in the 9 meters. No phone history. 2164.
4466.
2156.
2360.
2360. 2360.
Thanks for the agencies and for 9 assistance.
2156.
466 to report.
2159.
Great arrest last night. Find one of our patrol deputies. Resulted in a pursuit and apprehension of a stolen car. And Millingren had some warrants and a short-barreled rifle that was thrown out during the pursuit. So we'll touch base on that, but make sure you check that post out.
Yeah, check that post out. I think they're going to put a video up later about it as well.
And actually, I don't think that car was stolen too far from where we're at. It's off of Cromwell, right?
Yeah. Got stolen.